She said it was just wine and friends. But deep down, I knew what that really meant. Sometimes, it's not the words people say, it's the silence that follows. It was Friday night. I'd just come home from work when I noticed her getting ready, lipstick, perfume, that red dress I hadn't seen in months. "Wow, you're all dressed up. Big event tonight?" Smiling faintly, "Just wine and friends, nothing serious." Those 4 words. Wine and friends. They sounded simple, but something about the way she said it didn't sit right with me. She avoided eye contact, grabbed her purse, and added, "Don't wait up. It might be a late one." That was the moment my gut whispered, something's off. Before I continue, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because this story shows how the smallest cracks in trust can change everything. I tried to shake it off. Told myself not to overthink. But when you've been with someone long enough, you recognize the difference between truth and performance. Midnight passed. Then 1. Then 2. No calls. No messages. Just that eerie silence. I checked her location out of instinct, something I never do. It wasn't at her friend's house. It was at a quiet restaurant on the other side of town. My heart sank. Not because I'd caught her, but because I already knew what I was about to confirm. When she finally walked in, it was 2:43 a.m. She smelled faintly of wine and guilt. "So, how was the wine?" Pauses, "Good. We just talked about work." But her voice cracked on talked. And that was enough. You don't have to lie, you know. I'm not angry. Just disappointed. You think. But isn't that what everyone says when they're caught between truth and regret? She sat beside me, holding a cup of coffee, hands trembling. It was supposed to be just wine and friends, but he showed up. My ex. I didn't plan it, I swear. For a moment, I just listened. No shouting, no anger, just silence. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than forgiveness ever could. You could have told me. I didn't want to lose you. And now? Quietly, now I think I already did. That night, I realized something powerful. Love isn't lost in one big moment. It fades in the little ones. In missed calls, half-truths, and words like just wine and friends. And maybe that's what hurts the most, not the betrayal itself. But knowing you saw it coming all along. A month had passed since that night. Since the wine. Since the truth. The silence between us had turned from peaceful to painful. She'd moved out for a while, said she needed space. And honestly, I needed it too. But one thing about love, even when it breaks, the echoes stay. It was a Saturday. I was making coffee when I heard a knock at the door. When I opened it, there she was. Same perfume. Same nervous smile. But different eyes, eyes that looked tired, sorry, human. "Can we talk?" I thought we said everything that night. You said everything. I didn't. She stepped in, holding a small box. Inside it was a wine glass, cracked but glued back together. I kept this, from that night. I wanted to throw it away, but I didn't. Because it reminded me that broken things can still hold something. I just stood there silent, unsure if I should be angry or moved. We sat down at the same table where she once said those 4 words, just wine and friends. Except this time, it was just honesty. I won't justify what I did. I just want you to know I never meant to hurt you. Intentions don't erase pain, you know. I know. That's why I'm here, not to fix it, but to own it. For the first time, I saw her differently. Not as the woman who lied, but as someone brave enough to face what she broke. She reached across the table, her hand trembling. If there's even a small chance left, not for us to start over, but just to talk again, I'd be grateful. I looked at her, then at the glued glass on the table. Broken. But still standing. Maybe we start there. Just talking. She smiled, a real one this time. And for the first time in a long while, I smiled back. We didn't go back to how things were. We didn't rush. We didn't pretend. But we talked, and somehow, that was enough. That night, as she left, she turned back and said, "Thank you for giving me a chance to say sorry." And I realized something. Forgiveness isn't about pretending the pain never happened. It's about refusing to let the pain define what happens next. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories about love, loss, and the power of second chances. Because sometimes, the most beautiful stories are written after the heartbreak.